Hi, my name is Philip King and welcome to this video lesson, Long Tail Distribution Curve Keyword Selection. This is part of a series on understanding search engine optimization. Further video lessons can be found on my website and there's no need to worry about the cost because they're all free of charge. Today I'm going to show you how to get your articles and web pages closer to the top of the search engine results pages and in front of the kind of people who are looking for just the type of information you have to offer. This video is all about the long tail distribution curve, what it is and how to really use it to your advantage when writing articles and web pages for the internet. Now those of you who studied statistics might remember what long tail distribution is. The long tail is the name of a feature of some statistical distributions, such as the power laws. In long tail distributions, a high popularity is followed by a low popularity, which gradually tails off asymptotically, that is, a line that draws increasingly nearer to a curve without ever meeting it. The events at the far end of the line, the tail, have a very low but never zero probability of occurrence. As you can probably guess, the only area of the curve we're interested in today is the long tail. The theory behind our current use of the long tail is that our global cultures and economies are increasingly shifting away from a focus on a relatively small number of hits at the head of the demand curve and towards the huge number of niche opportunities in the tail. This is known as the long tail phenomenon, which states, if consumers are given unlimited choices, then everything becomes available. With the expansion of the internet, this unlimited choice scenario has become a reality. In an era without the constraints of physical shelf space and other distribution bottlenecks, niche targeted goods and services can be as economically attractive as mainstream fare. What the long tail is not. Invoking the long tail is not a magic wand. Don't use it to explain away an apparent lack of demand for your product or service. The long tail will not help bad products, services or ideas. If it's not good enough to be commercially interesting, the long tail will not help. Cut your losses and move on. Let's face it, most of the niche products in the long tail are simply rubbish. I'm sure your product isn't one of them, and in fact, a significant proportion of them aren't. It's just a matter of separating the good from the bad. But those who do find the good ones will appreciate them. Fringe products. If what you're selling is considered fringe, it may well enjoy long tail benefits, but only if it can fit nicely into an existing market that has the capacity to drive demand. For article marketeers, the long tail refers to the distribution of keywords or keyword phrases which are used for internet searches in a particular niche or market. That means the head of the long tail distribution curve is a single broad context keyword. It has a high content supply combined with a high demand and high competition, but it has a low target audience. The middle of the distribution curve has 2 to 3 keywords and will have moderate content supply, moderate demand and moderate competition, and of course a moderate target audience. The tail of the distribution curve is a 4 or more keyword phrase that has low content supply, low demand and low competition, yet has a higher target audience. What that means is, if you write articles based on the long tail, those articles have a much better chance of appearing at the top of the search results for the chosen long tail keyword. Okay, let's take an example for the head of the curve. If you write articles about cars, at the head of the curve would be the keyword cars, a broad spectrum search term. If you did a search for cars on Google, you would get about 2.3 billion results. Clearly, there's little chance of competing with statistics like those. If we aimed for the middle of the curve, the keyword would be something like car door protectors. If you did a search for this keyword, you would get about 1 million results, a significant reduction from 2.3 billion, but still high odds. Aiming for the long tail with a keyword such as car door protector and finger guard, we would get about 87,000 results. Considering we started with 2.3 billion, now we're looking at a reasonable number. So how do you find the words and phrases that people are entering into the search engines for your particular niche? Well, the easiest way is to pretend to be one of your own customers, and that's not as easy as it sounds, because you have background information about your product or service that your customer does not have. You have prior knowledge or inside information. So the first thing you need to do is try to forget about your product or service and approach the problem from the same perspective as your customers. So, pretending to be a member of your target audience, go to a search engine and type in a query which is representative of the item you are trying to promote. Then refine the query until you start to get the results which are representative of the long tail. You might find it interesting to actually write down the results for each query. You can also use research tools such as Word Tracker, which generates words and phrases for search engine optimization. There's also Keyword Discovery, which compiles search statistics for the search engines. There's also Good Keywords, which also queries the popular search engines to identify good words and phrases for you to use. There's also Google AdWords, which is an extremely powerful keyword research tool that allows you to query the most relevant searches entered into the Google search engine in the last year. There's also Google Alerts, which will email you updates of the latest relevant Google results based on your query selection. This allows you to monitor the web for interesting new content on a regular basis. You can find the links to these tools and many other SEO and keyword tools on my website. Just look on the SEO tools page for my recommendations. Understanding and writing for the long tail is extremely beneficial and effective because it puts your articles in front of the people who are looking for your specific product or service at the very moment they are ready to take action. This is an ideal situation for you. A visitor has found your site using a very specific phrase and they are ready for you to fulfill their need. Presuming you have a quality product or service, the rest should be a quick conversion. Writing for the long tail puts you in front of people who are ready to take action by putting your articles near the top of the search results. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you found it interesting. More videos and tutorials can be found on my website. I'll see you there. And thanks again for taking the time to view this video.